Hi everybody, this is M from DIYM, and today I made some fun little clothespins that you can stick on bags, like bag toppers. So if you wanted to, you could clip some of these guys on top for a chip bag, all sorts of stuff like that. I kind of wanted to show you how to make these guys, this very complicated thing in Photoshop. Yeah, it's really fun to make. So these guys, they look like little PEZ dispensers. I tried to make them look like little PEZ dispensers. And then some of them even have little feet. See these little feet that PEZ dispensers have? I tried designing them like that. So then these ones look more like the retro ones. But yeah, so this is a fun little video. This is a nice, obviously any time of year project, but I thought this would be a fun Christmas in July thing to do. So I hope that you guys enjoy that part of it. On to the video. Hi everybody, so I have done stuff with Adobe Illustrator CS4 on my channel before. It wasn't the greatest because I was sort of shooting with a camera at my computer, and this is with screen capture recording, so hopefully that'll look better and sound better. So this is what happens when I open up Illustrator for the first time. This normally pops up. I can open up a file if I'd like, or I can even open up this way as well. I'm gonna go to, so this is called Cornelius's Gang. So I have stuff that I've already made before. I made a lot of these images already on Procreate. So I'm gonna choose, this is Cornelius here. So this is actually, I like the image already, but I want to make it a little bit more like an Illustrator program sort of thing, right? So I have this image here of Cornelius. So Cornelius is, my brother does skits, or he used to do them anyways. I haven't seen them in a bit, but they're little skits with Nutcrackers, and they're just really silly, funny sketches that he does. So I might actually link it down below in the description for you guys to check out. So I don't know if I'm going to do too much explaining in this video. I might speed up a lot of this because I'm just sort of playing around in here, and I don't want this video to be forever. But what I want to do, these images are really fun because they show that the characters have a lot of character, and I think Cornelius does have one eye higher and eyebrow and all that stuff higher than the other, but I kind of want to make him look a little bit more perfect just for fun in this. We'll see how this goes. the new image of Cornelius. I'm just gonna drag and drop it into Adobe. Look at how cute he is. He's so adorable. I am obsessed with him. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to figure out the size of what I'm going to put him on, because I want to put him on a clothespin. So I'm going to grab one of my clothespins and measure it out. See how big I can make this. I think we should just do centimeters, because it looks like it's about 1 centimeter by 7 centimeters, maybe 6 centimeters. Maybe we'll do 2 centimeters across and see what happens. Image size. The image size, this is at 300 perfect. Width, I want to do 2 centimeters. And then, yeah, it's about 6 or so. Okay, so that should be good. Cool. I want to do a new file. I want to do 300 resolution, and then inches I'm going to do, and then it's going to be 8.5 by 11. And then, okay, so we'll just do that. Copy this whole thing by selecting this rectangular marquee tool, and then got the marching ants, and we're going to do Control C, entitled Control V. Okay, so he's pretty small. That's okay. Love that for him. So, okay, we're just gonna move him over. We'll just do multiples of him. I'm just gonna duplicate layers. We don't have to do this many of him, but anyways, I just wanted to make it look like Cornelius for my brother because I think it'd be really, really funny. And his whole family seems to get a kick out of it when I do artwork of him. So it's perfect for Christmas time. But I just want to duplicate the whole layer, and then we'll just drag them down, and then we'll just duplicate this whole layer, and then we'll drag those down too. So we've got about 15 versions of Cornelius. Just with one sheet of paper, I can make a whole bunch of Cornelius clothespins. Probably just gonna fussy cut a bunch of these guys out. If you guys have a Cricut, you might be able to do a little white border around it. If you can cut it out closer, that's fine too. But you can probably use a Cricut or Silhouette or some sort of print and cut machine. I don't have a print and cut machine. And obviously this is not centered, none of these, so it's not a big deal. But I did this very quickly and I'm just gonna cut around it. But this is about the size that I kind of want it to go to fit on a bunch of my clothespins. And this is going to be such a cute bag topper. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to print this up and I will show you the real deal when I come back. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of projects on the go here, but as you can see, this guy is probably just a little bit wider than this clothespin, and that's kind of what I wanted. What I want to do now is I want to laminate him just so he's a little bit sturdier. You could also, if you wanted to, another thing you could potentially do just to make it sturdier, it might be good when you cut things out, back him, put like another cardstock behind. But what I want to do is show you that you can use glossy accents or Mod Podge. It almost forms a resiny look to it, and it goes to the edges of things, especially if it's cut out already, so it has a resin quality. This one I accidentally shook up a little bit, so it might have bubbles. Try not to shake them if you're trying to get them to come out, because the bubbles will happen, which isn't great. But if you want to, you can always make them look like resin is happening. You can also just do resin if you'd like, but personally I try to steer clear of resin just because it's more toxic to breathe in. These guys are actually non-toxic, which is really good. I recommend getting a resin-like substance like these two that are non-toxic. So I'm going to try to do another cold lamination. As you guys know, I like to do on my channel. I love doing the hollow look for a lot of this stuff. I mean, you can make them completely clear, but I like making them look a little bit more holographic. This one might look really Christmassy because it's got the stars. So you can also do the regular snow, which is like that. I'll choose this guy though. I like the little star effects going on in it. So I'll try to link the links for this mix pack of hollow stuff down below. I'm gonna turn it this way because it's a little bit easier to laminate this. I'm gonna get a gift card. You can get like a squeegee or something if you'd like to for this as well. So I'm just gonna put that aside for a second. So what I like to do, and I've showed you guys this a few times before, but I feel like I have a higher success rate anyways, if I can say that, by doing this very specific technique. So I've combined some techniques to make things a lot easier for myself. Just gonna do that. Move that away from the paper. Try to do at least an inch or two here. I like to fold it so it's a little easier to put on here. And then I like to line up the bottom edges a little bit more as I'm moving this down. And I'm going to spread that out like that. And so some of it's on the actual counter itself. Okay, this is on my counter. That's why there's no mats happening here. And then I just take this bottom part here, right there. I try to keep it low. I'm going to actually, before I do this, I'm just going to try to keep this part low. And then I'm going to do very swift. I'm going to grab it in the middle, very swift, like that. Oops. I got some wrinkles happening, but that's okay. This part here is not too bad. There's only a couple that got wrinkled, so I'm just gonna cut away this part, and that's not a big deal. Yes, as I said, it's a higher success rate if you try to keep it low and do things quicker. I'm just gonna, you can do that if you want to, but I'm gonna just cut away this part. I have new fussy cutting scissors, so I'm just gonna cut this part though. You can always get bigger scissors too, but for fussy cutting, these are really good. And I'm going to just cut around the best I can. If you want to, you can leave a bit of a border. You don't have to cut so close. I'm just gonna cut them out like that. I think his hair is going to be a pain in the butt to try to do, so I'm just going to avoid it right now. It's probably easier to make it look like a sticker, kind of. And have a bit of a border. If you guys have crickets, you're lucky. Because it probably saves you a ton of time, I assume. It's such a hard thing to fussy cut because it's so small, to be honest. I'm trying to keep the black border too, so that's not exactly easy. But yeah, I think the next ones I cut out are probably just gonna be more some sort of border around it, like a sticker. But yeah, if you want to fussy cut like this, you can totally do that as well. Or as I said, use your Cricut. They're very precise scissors, which is great, and it doesn't hurt your hands over time, which is nice. These scissors are just fantastic if you have sore hands when you're cutting. Great for if you have arthritis or something along those lines. I'm just gonna take off a little bit of these points. So we got a bit of a mess happening here, but that's okay. So if you want to, you can do that and mount him on here, and that would look really cute on a gift. It's cool because he's already got some glue on him as well. I'm just gonna hot glue him on here. You can probably use fairly light glue as well on there. Might just fussy cut out some of these guys with a bit of a border. This is a lot easier. But I think laminating it is definitely going to help it keep its sturdiness. And as I said, if you want to, you can always like mount this with another cardstock piece behind to make it a lot sturdier. So this one's way faster to cut out. Then you have two different kinds, whichever one you prefer to use, and that should also be fine to glue on, as long as you're able to clip things. I'm going to cut out a bunch of these guys, and then I'm going to make a PEZ dispenser that I can cut out and also glue onto this. So we'll do that in Illustrator as well, just for fun. Okay, and I'll show you guys that when I come back. I just cut out 3 of these guys. I can cut out more, obviously, if I wanted to, but I just cut out 3. I made these PEZ dispenser things in Illustrator. They're supposed to be about the size of this. Just the middle part here can wrap around, so I'm gonna just fold on the outside of this line, crease that, and I'll fold it, and it should wrap around this. I also put little feet on them in case I want to make them longer, like that. It's gonna be a taller one for sure. And then you can stick a head of something on there as well if you wanted to. So there's all different. I just brought a bunch of these. You can always, I could make Cornelius into a PEZ if I wanted to cut off his head or something. I wanted to, you know what I mean? Or you could even just do his bust, so that'd be kind of cute and fun. But there's lots of things you can do. You can always put your own drawings of maybe the pop culture thing on. You can stamp out something that's about this size. There's all sorts of things you can do. But yeah, I just tried to do this in Illustrator, and then if you want to, you can put, I've got a whole Hello Kitty cabochon thing. Normally PEZs have either a whole body of something, or they'll have a bust of something, or they'll have a head of something. So you can even glue that once you glue it on here. And you don't even have to do the sides if you don't want to. You can always just cut that part off. I just wanted to do the whole thing to make it look like an actual PEZ dispenser. I thought that'd be kind of fun. When I'm gluing, it's going to be tough. I'm going to have to avoid this part. I'm just going to have to glue a little bit on here and maybe a little bit on here when I'm gluing things down. I'm going to glue this first onto here. But yeah, I did about 4 different colors. So I did yellow and orange, or almost like peachy tone, blue, and a pink. And then I just did, this is just a white. But yeah, I could do other colors, obviously. I've set it up in such a way on my Illustrator program that I could just change the colors out fairly easily now. So that's good. And then I also, obviously, I did the same sort of thing as I did here. I just went over it with a lamination sheet. So this one's not the stars, but it's more like the snow one. So this is nice for any time of year. I kind of like the fact that it could be for birthdays, it could be for Christmas, it could be for Halloween, Valentine's Day too, just because, whatever, anything like that. So I kind of like the fact that that's a thing. So I'm gonna really quickly just do a bit of scoring here. I just want to sort of see how they wrap around. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use something else here. So I have this in my stash meant for, I mean, obviously you can do this with it, but it's also meant for doing sculpture stuff. So there's that. So I'm going to probably take the smallest one so it's a little easier to bend things. It's a delicate thing to do here. I'm going to try to do the outside if I can here. So I see that it's running down here, kind of on the outside. So as you can see, that's scored there. And I can just easily fold that over if I want to. Increase that. So yeah, it just sort of wraps around like that. So it covers things up. Yeah, if you want to use it, I might put it up a little bit. Maybe above when I'm gluing stuff. I'm just going to avoid this part and I'm just going to glue the actual wood part. Yeah, I'm just going to do that to all these guys here. And then, as I said, I'm going to fold this guy up as well. So we'll just do that. So it'll look kind of like the little PEZ feet that they have. So this one's probably going to come down a little bit longer on the clip, and then you can just go like that to open things up. First I'm going to do the same thing I just did. So I'm just going to turn off the camera and do that. And then when I come back, I'm going to do some gluing. Okay, so I have a setup happening here for hot gluing. I'm just going to get some glue sticks out at the ready. I have my glue gun here, just warming up. It's all plugged in right now. If you want to, if you don't want to use hot glue, you could try to use these resin glues, but they won't bond that quickly and might have to stay out for a while. Might be good for something like this, potentially, just to let them lay on that, but I feel like hot glue makes things go a lot faster. I have a whole bunch of these guys too. You can get wooden ones, obviously, or plain, you know what I mean, just regular wood colors. I just happen to have these blue ones because I just think that they're cool and pretty. But yeah, I'm just gonna do maybe a few of these guys, so I just have a few of these out already. And then if I want to glue some heads on the PEZ dispenser, I'm going to have that at the ready as well. I have them coming in the mail, but I wish I had my little finger protectors, but I don't have those quite yet. I'll probably have those in another video soonish, but yeah, so let's get started with this. We could probably do these ones first because they're the easier ones. These little Cornelius ones, these little Nutcrackers. Put them directly on here. Make sure that it's hiding kind of behind there. And there you go. You can do stuff like this with paper clips too if you wanted to. I think you can just stick a little thing on the back so you don't see all the, you know, all the gross hot glue, but they work nicely on here if you want to do a little bag topper. But there's a nice little Christmas bag topper, so if you have a bag you want to keep closed for a gift. So I'm going to do all three of these guys just to have them ready. So I'm going to avoid this part. I'm just going to glue that part down. That looks like the flatter area. So this is the one that I kind of really fussy cut it out. So as you can see, it still works here. I think these are super cute. These little bag toppers. Let's try some PEZ dispensers. I'm gonna just insert this guy. Okay, which one should I do? I think I'll do pink for Hello Kitty. Oh shoot, I think I put this on funny. Shoot, I think it's upside down. Oh no. Yeah, I put it on upside down. Uh-oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna put one over top. It's fine, it'll make it sturdier. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I hate doing stuff like that, but it's okay. I think it matched this guy here. And then glue right along there. And try not to glue the actual wire down. Just want to make sure it's still moving. I'll make a different one that's pink. It's cute, right? It's so cute. It can still move. Okay, and I'm going to just put a little body over down here. I can rip this off, and then I'm just going to hot glue it on as well, this whole thing. But this is a fun thing that you can do with your cabochons if you wanted to, and then you can stick that on a bag, and it's super cute on a little bag topper. Okay, look at that, PEZ, so fun. Okay, so then I'm going to do something similar. This one's the one with the feet. This one's obviously right side up. I like that it has little feet on this one. It's a little hot, you can sort of feel it through there, but if you laminate things, your fingers are still going to be very, very protected, so it should be fine. Try to just do a little bit if you can. Try not to do it right directly on the wire. Try to have it a little over from the wire, because as you know, glue squishes out sometimes when it's being used. So much hot glue strings. so many of them. That's just one kind of annoying thing about this sort of project. But anyways, I love this. I think this is really cute, this little Hello Kitty cookie cabochon that I have. So I'm just gonna glue that not all the way to the top, and then just squish it down and try to center it a bit better. And it's super cute. I absolutely love it. I have some popples that I might actually end up putting on here too, because I think they'd be really cute. So I'm just gonna grab those. I think they're really fun. So I have all these little popples. I get one of each color out. So these ones should be fun. But yeah, if you wanted to, if you have flatback cabochons, like they have a pumpkin or something on something fun for Halloween or whatever, you can totally do that too. I just feel like PEZ has got a lot of pop culture stuff going on, but popples are really fun for birthdays and stuff like that. So I thought that'd be really cute for that. So let's try doing this with popples here. Or you can just leave them blank too. You don't have to add all of these guys. I've been meaning to do these bag toppers for so long, guys. You don't even understand. It's been forever. I really want to do them. I thought this was such a fun idea. Okay, good. It still opens up. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Pink one? Let's do the pink one. I think this one's named Party. I had this one when I was a kid. I had this one and the yellow one, and I had a white one, but I think it was a different, almost like a dog version of a popple. Just gonna move it over a little bit because I don't want that showing there. Did you guys have any popples? Are you guys from that time period when popples existed in the 80s? Drop me a line down below. Let me know if you guys played with popples or had some or both. I love them. I think they're really cool. Yeah, so I think this one's Party Popple. I think one of them's called Popcorn. I think they're all P names. As far as I know. I don't know. I can find that meme that shows their names and link it above here. Anyways, so cute. I love this so much. This is just so fun. So much fun. And you can do so much with these cabochons, right? I just love that I just made a PEZ base and you can change up the colors and just do whatever you want with that. I want to do blue one with the yellow. I think that one's going to be really fun. I kind of can't stop making these. These are just too fun. But I think it's best to glue the actual clothespin first and then put this on, apply this. It should be more accurate with gluing. I'm just having way too much fun making this. I hope you guys tried doing something like this because it's so fun. And you don't have to do it on the computer like I did, all this stuff. You can draw it out by hand, measure things out, draw it out, you know. I just find it's a little more accurate sometimes if you do it on Illustrator and just try to do it the size that you need. I just want to make sure it opens because I have to do that every single time. Gotta make sure it opens. Gotta make sure that my finger gets in there and it can open. These are such fun bag toppers. I really love. I don't know, I just had this idea randomly. I saw some sort of company that made PEZ stamps and I was like, I'm just gonna make the PEZ on the computer on Illustrator and just cut them out and stuff. I still think this looks really cute, and then the PEZ would probably come down. This probably looks like the most accurate version of a PEZ dispenser with just the head. I didn't really have a lot of just heads though. I do have little tiny, almost like nail art of just heads for Hello Kitty, but they're just so small. They're way too small for something like a project like this. You might be able to get away with doing something like that on a small paper clip or something, just a very tiny little circle on the back of it, and then just glue it down that way. Okay, so there's another one. I think I'm gonna do all of them just because they're just so fun. I'll do the white one will be on the yellow and then this guy will be on the orange. I think that'll be good. Did I do it upside down again? Oh, I did. Oh no, I keep doing that. No, why? Okay, it's just gonna rip off a little bit on the back, but it's okay. Nobody's gonna see that. It's so annoying. Okay, should be fine now. There we go, that's better. Luckily, this one didn't rip too much on the inside. It ripped a bit, but it's fine. I keep putting them upside down. That's just so silly. These ones, because they have feet, they're a little easier to tell if they're upside down or not. Maybe I'll just do this guy first. So this guy would look, as I said, it's got a nice peachy orange one, but it looks good with blue. I was trying to pick colors that look good with the blue clothespins. Okay, so what was I doing here? Oh yeah, this guy on here, and then, no, wait, am I doing that? This guy looks more ghostly, so maybe I'll put him in here. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that instead. I'm switching them around a little bit. So yeah, in Illustrator, it's easier to change the line work. If you're doing everything from scratch, it's easier to change the line work to a different color than, say, maybe Photoshop. So that's why I have different colors. This one, the white one, is the main design. I think it looks cute black and white as well. Okay, let's try this guy. you guys get the idea. I'm just gonna put this one aside. I'll do something with that another time, but I'm gonna turn off the camera, clean this up a bit, and show you guys this in the end and how they'll look on bag toppers. Okay, so here's all the fun clips we made today. Yeah, I made all different sizes, obviously. Some of these PEZ with feet, some of them without. So these ones are a little taller, and then I've got, these ones look like the very retro ones. The very first PEZ were like this, I think, just very simple. I don't know, I thought that would be really fun to do, really cute. As I said, you can take some of your flat back cabochons if you have some fun ones, and you can just stick them on there. So I thought that would be really cute and fun. I just also love this. We can make nutcrackers and stuff, so I was trying to do something fun for Christmas in July. Yeah, so they're really fun, really cute, and you can just, say you're doing like an 80s swap or something, you can take something like this, clip them on the bag. You can also take a chip bag, clip a chip bag. If you want to gift it or if you want to just seal a chip bag, you might be able to do it with something like this. This guy is a little easier for it to hang down because it's not overlapping so much. It's a little easier to just put it on something. Put that on there or something like that. You could do the sheet mask that I have, decorate that a little bit more. It's so awkward, it's tall, but yeah, it's a lot easier if you've got a little bit more room here. But it's just because you did the sides for the PEZ one. I still like it though. I still think it's cute. It still works. The shorter ones are probably a little easier. It looks a little bit nicer with the shorter ones. So anyways, that's that. Also, if you wanted to, you don't have to put this PEZ thing on the side. I just feel like if you do it on the side, then it's easier to see what this is. And then again, you can always do something similar. You can just take some paper clips and glue these guys and just make sure you have a little circle or something like that, or even just another, maybe like a square, some sort of sheet of paper just to put on the other side, and just glue that down and just cover up the glue so the glue has somewhere to glue onto. But yeah, you can basically just leave it down here, maybe just glue it up there. I'll just open this up so I can show you a bit better. So down here may not be the best place to glue it, but you can glue it up here and you can just put a little paper thing on the back, and then you can have a cute little paper clip. I'm sure these guys would look really adorable on little paper clips, so you could do that too. All of these guys would probably look cute on there. Anyways, but that's pretty much that. I think it's really fun to make these little clips, and you can use any kind of ephemera that you also have in your stash. If you have some ephemera in your stash, you can always just hot glue that down. Make sure that it's nice thick ephemera, maybe laminated in some way. And again, you don't even have to put this stuff on if you don't want to, like this PEZ thing that I did, but you can even just glue these guys on the top of there as well, just on their own, and that would look really cute too. So there's so much stuff you can do with this. I just thought that I'd do something a little different and a little fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed that little video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe and share the video if you think somebody else is going to like this too. But yeah, I hope that this gives you guys some fun ideas of what you can potentially do for even just gifting. So this could be for birthdays, for obviously Christmas, pretty much any time of year. Valentine's Day, you could do Halloween. Halloween would be really cute for PEZ dispensers. This, as I said, would be kind of fun for, say, an 80s swap or something. Yeah, I hope I gave you guys some ideas, at least a little bit of inspiration, and I hope everybody has an awesome day. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye!